This is A News at 6.
Good evening. Thanks for staying with us. We begin this hour with some strange political bedfellows with less than a week to go before the federal election. The Conservatives and the Greens have filed complaints with Elections Canada about thousands of phone calls being made to homeowners in Saanich Gulf Islands. The calls are being made by an environmental group that opposes oil tankers in BC waters. The Dogwood Initiative is targeting Conservative Gary Lunn and telling voters that Liberal Bryony Penn is the only candidate who could defeat the Natural Resources Minister. Well, the Tories and the Greens both say those calls are illegal and subvert democracy. A News reporter Stephen Andrew has details.
Vote for Lunn is a vote for tankers.
The Dogwood Initiative has dogged Conservative Gary Lunn from the beginning of the election campaign. They were there when he opened his campaign office, and they were there outside the A British Columbia studios when he attended an all-candidates forum. And now he's being dogged on the telephone.
BC's northern coastal waters are now at risk from oil spills. Saanich Gulf Islands Conservative MP Gary Lunn opposes a permanent ban on tankers. With the NDP out of the race, the Liberals' Bryony Penn has the best chance of defeating Gary Lunn. Please consider the environment when casting your vote.
The message is just one of more than 35,000 calls to voters in the riding of Saanich Gulf Islands. The organization making the call says they tried to speak with Lunn about the issue of oil tankers for more than 2 years, but with no success.
We've taken positions that both the BC and the federal government hasn't liked in the past, but we've always been given the respect of at least an actual meeting and a conversation. And so it's a very unique situation here, and I think fairly anti-democratic, the kind of treatment we're getting from Mr. Lunn.
They put calls out to my entire riding on a demon dialer saying that Gary Lunn is going to allow tankers down the Inside Passage. That is absolutely false in every sense of the word. It's not something that I've ever done. There are no tankers there. And it's not something we would ever do.
After dealing with the economy as the #1 issue in this campaign, the Conservatives in Saanich Gulf Islands find themselves now dealing with the Dogwood Initiative telephone calls. They and the Green Party say it's a subversion of democracy. Meantime, the Liberals are trying to distance themselves from the calls. The Conservatives and the Green Party have filed complaints with Elections Canada, saying the calls are illegal and violate spending restrictions of third-party advertisers.
And as far as we're concerned, they haven't registered as third-party advertisers.
So the minute they register, you have no problem with it?
I have no problem with it. I dispute the logic.
But the Dogwood Initiative says it recently registered and is spending less than the cap on third-party advertisers. The complaints are sour grapes. Gary Lunn has another view on the calls and is lashing out at Liberal challenger Bryony Penn.
And again, I challenge Bryony. Separate herself from this. She is part of this campaign. They have endorsed her. She's been there at every step of the way.
The Liberals say they have no control over the Dogwood campaign, and if the Greens or Conservatives have concerns about the calls, they should take them up with Elections Canada. In Saanich, Stephen Andrew, A News.
For her part, Liberal Bryony Penn was not available to speak on the issue today. Instead, the matter was handled by her campaign team. A News reporter Stephen Andrew tonight is hosting an all-candidates forum for the riding of Esquimalt-Wanda-Fucup. That's at Royal Roads University. It begins at 7, and we will have highlights tonight with Cheryl Bloxham on A News at 11.